Next up we have this dress, which I've also bought secondhand, just like the shirt and this dress. The hat was purchased new. This is a size up from where I thought I would be, and so I didn't think that this would fit me properly. But when I tried it on, it was only really too big in the shoulders, as in the chest was too big. It was too sort of gapey. But if I pinched that and sort of held that up, it fit perfectly. So I have actually, last year even, pinned the shoulders. I have an intention to stitch that, but this is too thick to stitch on my sewing machine. So I have to do the scary thing of cutting off a piece of the strap, zigzagging the ends, and then sewing it together. It sounds like a, what, 20-minute job, but I'm so scared of cutting too much off. And I will also try this on again and just make sure that it still fits everywhere else, so I don't spend time mending it and then I'm unable to use it anyway. I think it's gonna be fine. I love this dress so much. I got it last summer, but I have unfortunately not worn it apart from trying it on and pinning these, because again, it's too big and I don't want to wear it like that. Also a very swirly, flowy, nice dress like that. Here we have the dress that needs the straps shortened that I showed in the previous clip, and I have pinned where I need them shortened to. My plan is to cut off this excess bit that is too long, zigzag both sides of that cut, and then sew right sides together so that it will create a seam. However, I am sitting here wondering if I should measure that these are the same size, that I'm cutting off equally much on both sides, or if I should just base it on the fact that this fit well. I think they are at least almost the same size, and you know, maybe I'm a little lopsided. I have tried before to just sew over this, but this is too thick for my sewing machine to go through, which is why I'm gonna cut this piece out. I'm scared to do it because I'm scared I'll take off too much and not be able to fix it, but it will be fine. I have decided. There is, however, a problem, and that is that these are, you can see probably that this overlaps a little bit. There's a piece here sticking out, which is part of this side of the strap, not this side, and I am a little, because it goes in a little bit, it's like out at the front and out the back, but it's thinner at the top of the shoulder. Well, it's actually thinner right here, but I am worried that it won't line up, and I do not know what to do about that. But I will think about this, I'll look at it, I'll confer with the husband, who is much better at this than I am, and we'll get started. So I have conferred with the husband, who is very smart and knows sewing, and I am doing a thing. I have unpinned this strap now. Can you see the strap? Yes, you can. Unpin this strap. But before I did that, I measured how big this piece is that I've marked up as wanting to take that off. That measures 3 centimeters. I'm gonna do this all in centimeters because that's what I know, which means I have a shoulder seam on the top of the shoulder. 3 centimeters means I should take off 1.5 centimeters up and 1.5 centimeters down. North, south, east, west, who knows, front, back, something. Ow, there were needles in that one. I should take off 1.5 centimeters on each side, zigzag those, and then sew it together like these are. However, seam allowance. So my suggestion was taking off 1 centimeter on either side of the seam, and then I'd have 1 centimeter total for seam allowance. So 0.5 centimeter per side. My husband, however, suggested I take off less and basically just cut out the seam, and then the worst that can happen is that I have too much fabric left. But at least I don't cut away too much. These are so slow. I want speed scissors.
I don't think you actually want that.
No. And the reason I'm even cutting this is because there is no, since it's lined, there's no seam I can unpick.
I mean, you could unpick it, but since you want fabric removed anyway,
yeah,
it's easier to just cut.
So I'm gonna cut both on this side and on this side.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm really scared.
You can do it.
Okay. I have cut this off.
Well done.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. And this is approximately 1 centimeter. And very thick, because it's at least 4 layers of fabric. We've cut that off. Now we're gonna zigzag both of these sides. Someone didn't cut this very straight.
Huh.
Shocking, I know. We have our first zigzag.
Yay.
Husband says it looks fine. I disagree, but we have it. This one looks better. This one I'm happy with. Okay, so I've taken these needles out. We have the open shoulder and we have the empty shoulder, which is the other word, obviously. We have the open shoulder and we have the still closed shoulder. We will repeat the process of cutting out this seam. I think maybe if I hadn't actually kept those needles in for a year, almost a year, it would have been easier to cut this because now I have creases that are sort of settled in.
Huh.
Okay, and just for comparison, here is the new piece I cut off and here is the old piece. And they are approximately the same size. We're talking a few millimeters off. So just bearing that in mind because I think that might be important. Now you pick, husband, left or right shoulder?
Left.
Left. My left or your left?
Anyone's left.
Anyone's left, okay.
A left.
Huh? A left.
Yes.
I have turned the dress inside out to be easier to work with, for it to be easier to work with. I will in fact not be easier to work with. I am myself. So, let's see. This, what I have up now is the back and this is the front. And so, I have taken off 1 centimeter with cutting the shoulder bit, this shoulder seam off. I want the seam to be where it was height-wise on the shoulder. Like I want it on the middle of my shoulder. So, I'm gonna put this on here. I'm gonna measure that the front bit is 1 centimeter and then I'm going to put the seam 1/2 centimeter down on the back bit. We think this makes sense. We had a conversation about it. I'm just gonna pin front and back together and then I'm gonna mark it with a pen where I'm supposed to sew. That's smarter than putting a bunch of pins everywhere. Right?
Yeah.
Yay!
Whee!
Okay, we have an attempt. I will do this one first and then do the other shoulder next time, right?
Yes.
Alright, the dress fit. It was fine. We're happy. So, this is now what it looks like when I have, wow, white balance. There we go. Wow, imagine if it always looked like this. This is now what it looks like. There is a little bit of like a spillage. The strap is longer on one side, which I was concerned about, but it is what it is. We don't think, I say we, I mean my husband, doesn't think it's gonna be super noticeable once I'm wearing it. So we will just do it like this. Now I am going to flip this over. I am going to take the excess, let's see, this is now the front and this is the back. I'm now going to take this and I'm going to fold it over like so. I could do it like that, which would look a lot neater, but it's also going to be a lot thicker, which might be visible when I wear it. It might be difficult to sew and it might just not be very comfortable. So I'm just going to put it flat like that and I'm going to sew approximately, this is my aim, I'm going to sew approximately where the zigzag was on the fabric, like not the edge, but here, so like a few millimeters down from this edge. I'm gonna sew that, trim off the loose threads, and that's gonna be it. And then I'll repeat this process on the other strap. The next dress that needs mending is not as swirly in the bottom, I'll give it that. But it's this really cool dress that I got secondhand last year as well. And it fits fine, it's great. And I really like that it sort of has this extra bit. Like it looks like it's double. It looks like there's 2 skirts to it somehow. But they're just sewn together like this. It's just an extra flap over. And then you tie it over like at the waist or at the chest like this. The problem with this is that it fits fine, but there is gaping between at least 2 of these buttons. Again, it fits fine, but when I move my body like you do when you are alive, it gapes between two of the buttons. So my idea here is to put, are they called poppers? Popper buttons? Just put two of them in wherever the problem is. One between two buttons and one between two other buttons. And then hopefully, A, you won't see them from the outside because I'll put them on the inside here, but also hopefully it will stay closed and not feel like it's doing that. Alright, so I have marked out where I think the buttons should go. I'm not sure that's the best way. This one, the bottom one, is a bit clearer than this one. The fabric matches up, but there is, ow, but it is closer to the top than it is the bottom button, but I'm sure it's fine. Now I have these that I call like push buttons. I'm not sure that's the actual name of them, but they look like this. So there are two of these spiky bits that hold things in place, and then there is the actual sticky outy button bit and the other button bit. I explained things real well, but since this is the first time I'm actually using these, my husband had the lovely suggestion of actually trying this on a piece of different fabric. Alright, so I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna try it once on this piece of fabric, and I have these two spiky bits that go under the fabric and hold the buttons in place, and then we have the bottom bit, and then we have the bottom bit of button, and the top bit of button. So each of these go with one of the spiky ones. I am, however, working with two pieces of fabric for the dress. I only prepared one piece of fabric, so I'll get myself another, just a little practice piece like this. And we're gonna try this without having, like, on the actual dress, I have measured out where they should be. On these, I'll just put them in place and make sure I can close the button. That is the plan here. So, I also have this tool. I should mention the tool. It makes noises. So, we put the spiky bit on the other side. Do I push it through?
Yeah.
Like by hand?
Yeah.
We put it on the other side and we push it through. I don't know how well you can see that, but it is going through. There we go. You can see the spikes. And then we take the bottom button bit and just put that on top of the spikes. This is just completely round. There's nothing on the inside of this to catch really on these, but we will place that on top. Hope that we're doing this right because we have no idea what we're actually doing. Get the tool.
We are allowed to ask for help if we are uncertain.
We have very helpful husbands. Does it matter which order I do this from? Should that be on the underside where there is a...
And the thing about, since this isn't quite the right tool...
We have the wrong tool.
Yes. With this side especially, you're not gonna be in the middle. You'll have to go around. Yeah. Because
that's how you go around.
Because you don't want to push that in.
No. But does it matter this way around?
No.
No? Okay. Then we will try on the edge. I tried on the edge. I didn't know my own strength. Okay. I'm gonna push it just a little bit extra. Now it's definitely on there, but I want to just give it a little more schwung. I missed the button completely. Luckily fabric doesn't get dented. Okay. You can't see anything because I'm not framing this very well. But there it is on. I'm gonna try to actually grab each piece and pull. And it's not coming off. I did something right. Thank you. And now we'll repeat on the other bit. Spiky bit goes from underneath and I push the spiky bit through. Like so. Haha. It's a no-sew project. I'm so funny. And then, just gotta figure that out. This goes on like that. And here we don't have this, is that how we go on? Yes. Here we don't have the same problem as the other one because this can't get dented in the center and break the button. So I'm just gonna try to go for the center straight away. Are we ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, squeeze. Okay. Now if I've done this correctly, we have the bottom button, We have the bottom button. And we have the top one. And we will put them together and we will push. Did you hear that snap though? It works! I did it! I have one set of button already out and available. And I'm going to grab another set just so I have all the pieces available. And know that I have all the pieces available.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this.
You can do it, you can do it, I believe in you, I believe in you.
One more time before I...
You can do it, you can do it, I believe in you, I believe in you. You can do it, you can do it,
You believe in me, you believe in me. Okay, we might have something here. Thank you for your singing,
You're welcome.
chanting, whatever it was.
Cheering.
Cheering, that's the word. Okay, moment of silence. Okay, we might actually have something here. We might actually have something here. I will say that this is now done and that it works. But before I try it on again and make sure that it actually does, I'm gonna move on. Yeah, sharp bits.
You're gonna move on sharp beats? Sharp beats?
Sharp beat, ooh ah. No, but I'm going to move down.
South.
Huh?
South?
Yes, because I was north and now I'm south.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move down south of this dress and get a little bit more comfortable because floors are not the most comfortable thing to sit on. I think, you know? I don't know who else has opinions or what those opinions are, but we've moved down further because I didn't show this in the, when I showed off the things that needed fixing, but there's a problem right here. There is a button missing. This has been ripped out of the dress, which is a bit problematic, so it's frayed. But it was this way when I got it. I knew it didn't have that button. I have no replacement buttons. So I am going to move this one, which is the southernmost one, and put that there. My knee, when I'm wearing this dress, my knee is somewhere between these two bottom buttons. You can't see that very well, but there's a button here, and this is where one is missing. This is to about my knees. I don't mind if it's open from that down. I do mind the gaping right here. So I'm gonna take that off and move it here, stitch that on there, and then try this back on and hope everything works. Okay, the dress is back on. I have just buttoned up the buttons that have always been there. So I have a push button here that you can't really see, and I have one right here. I also feel like it's looking weird in other places now, but we're gonna just snap these shut. It snapped. And so did that one. Does this look better? Or does it just look wonky?
I think it looks better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Because it's... Okay, I'm gonna squat down. Hello. We've said this before, me and my husband, that like looking at it from straight ahead, if I look at it in a mirror or if he looks at it, it looks different to what it looks like when I look down at it, which makes sense. And also me bending, like turning my head down to look at it also means that my body shifts and then I think it gapes more. So this is what it looks like now. I'm standing normally. I'm moving a lot, but you know, yeah, I don't think it's that bad actually. I mean, I see a little bit like do-doot, 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 but it's not gapey anymore. Do they look off center? Do they look bad?
No.
No? Okay then. And then if I tie this over, it also hides a little bit of that, which is the point all along. And there we go. And I have now also, I'm gonna move the camera down a little bit. Whee! That's probably great. I also moved that button, so I removed the button that was down here because that's where the buttonhole is, and I moved it 2 up, so it's this one. And I think that looks fine too. Right?
Yeah.
Successful. This is how I talk to the camera now.